Good morning, everyone. I hope you're okay and safe out there. Today, I'm going to be your English teacher. Okay? So, as you can see, this lecture is designated to fourth-year students. All right? So, the name of the lesson is Imperative plus Time Sequencers. Okay? So, this is just a reminder. If you remember, we have already seen the imperative and time sequencers last year. Okay? So, imperative. For example, if I ask students, one of my students, and I tell him, what does it express for you, the imperative? Some of them, they might tell me, it just used to express an order. But you have to be careful. Keep in mind that the imperative can be used for other contexts. For example, in instruction. Before you take any medicine, you read the instructions. To give a piece of advice or recommendations. By recommendations, I mean suggestion. Okay? So, for the imperative, we have two forms. We have the affirmative and the negative. Before we go to the rule, I want you to read the examples with me. Clean your room. For example, your mother is going to tell you, clean your room. Now, that's an order. Revise your lessons. When I tell you revise your lessons, it's more like a piece of advice, so you can pass your exam. Listen to your parents. This is an order. You should listen to your parents, or you must listen to your parents. So, for the negative form, what do I have? Don't smoke. Don't smoke. It's bad for your health. Don't eat junk food. Okay, junk food is unhealthy food. Or, for example, don't steal money. Stealing is bad. Now, the rule. The rule is quite simple. Here, do you see any subject? I don't have any subject, because for the imperative, I should start my sentence with a verb. So the sentence starts with the verb in the infinitive form. So I don't have an S, I don't have an ED or an IG or anything. Okay, so the sentence starts with the verb, infinitive, and no subject. Here, if I want to convey a negative imperative, I should start with don't. Plus the verb. So the verb here is in the infinitive, okay? Please be careful when I say infinitive. So this was the imperative. Now, I want you to read this situation. A group of Algerian students are planning to prepare 20 chocolate cakes for for children at Oran Hospital. So they asked a cook for the recipe. So these are the ingredients. I'm not going to read the ingredients. I'm just going to read the preparation. Okay, so let's go back to the title of the lesson. What did we say? Imperative plus time sequencers to deliver a cooking recipe. So here we're going to use these two lessons to produce a cooking recipe. What are time sequencers? Do you remember them? Okay, do you remember them? I don't know if you remember them. Okay, so here, preparation. It's very easy to make a chocolate cake. First, mix 4 eggs and a glass of sugar with a whisk. Next, add a glass of milk and a half glass of oil. Stir the mixture very well. Then add a spoon of vanilla, a spoon of baking powder, and pour 3 glasses of flour. Don't forget to stir. After that, add a pinch of salt, heat the oven for 30 minutes, bake your cake for about 35 minutes, finally decorate it with chocolate and serve it with a cup of coffee or tea. So here, for example, in the exam, if they ask you to write a recipe, this is an easy example for you to learn. Okay? So here, what did they say? Color the time sequences. I'm not sure if you can see them. They are in blue, so I have first, next, then, after that, and finally. These are called time sequencers. These time sequencers, we use them to write steps. For example, in a recipe, I have steps to follow, so my recipe is... So these steps, so I have to use the time sequencers in a recipe. Pardon, je m'excuse. Attendez. So whenever I have steps to follow, I should use these time sequences, whether it's in a recipe or in instructions, okay? And here they said underline the verbs. So I have underlined the verbs. We have mix, add, pour, don't forget, heat, bake, decorate, and serve. So these underlined verbs are used in the imperative. We don't have any subject here, okay? I hope it's clear. So far, so good. So this is just a recap for you. Time sequencers are first, next, then, after that, and finally. For example, if you want to talk about your morning routine, what do you do when you wake up? You use these time sequencers. Okay, now, let's move on to activities. So I have given you 4 activities. 3 of them are already in the book. So you're just going to open your book with me. Task 1, page 114. I write the verbs in brackets in the imperative. So it's very easy exercise. And please, don't forget that you have the answers at the end of the handouts. Okay? Task 2, same page. I reorder the jumbled instructions in task 1. So task 1 and 2, they are related. Okay? After you turn the verbs in the imperative, you're going to reorder the sentences to have a coherent chronological order. So I reorder the jumbled instructions in task 1 to get a coherent paragraph about how to make mint tea. Okay? Who doesn't know how to make mint tea? Now, task 3, also related to the 2 previous tasks, I add sequencers to my paragraph in task 2. So after you reorder the sentences in task 2, what are you going to do? You are going to add sequencers. Okay, so you add first, next, then, after that, etc. Okay, so now you have a full, meaningful paragraph about how to make mint tea. Now, task 4, it's my own. You don't have it in the in your yearly copy book. Your yearly book. So the Algerian students group still needs another cooking recipe for the planned breakfast for the children in hospital. So after they have finished making chocolate cakes, they want to bring them a good healthy breakfast. So they ask a cook for scrambled eggs recipe. Scrambled eggs recipe. Okay. So here are the ingredients, kitchen verbs, and kitchen utensils. Okay. So you're going to use this table and write a paragraph, and you're going to write a recipe. Okay. After you finish, you can always send me your paragraph, and I will be correcting each one of you, inshallah. Okay. So before I forgot, you have the answers at the end of the handout, but please try to do the 4 exercises alone. Don't try to cheat, or because it's not going to help you. Try your best, and I think that's the end of our lesson. As a piece of advice for me is don't give up to laziness. Try to be productive. I know it's not very easy for you to learn at home by yourself with this lockdown, but it's never too late to learn, okay? Just keep on being active, okay? Thank you. See you soon.